what's good, man? It's a lot going on out here this week, man. I just heard this news about Jamie Foxx, man. That kind of blowed me, man. Like they went from they had posted a bunch of fake videos that I seen of him walking to a steakhouse or something like that. Now they talking about seeing a lot of news reporters, maybe false or real, of him allegedly being paralyzed and blind. You know what I mean, from COVID shot difficulties and things of that nature, man. I couldn't believe that. I was trying to figure out where did that come from. You know what I mean? I seen like a lot of people just been like stirring up a lot of rumors and things of that nature, man. Not really having like a clear idea of what was going on with Jamie, man. It's unfortunate though, man. I've seen that a lot of coincidental situations been happening, man. Especially with the DC young fly and his baby mother with the surgery allegations, saying there was some difficulties with that. But man, that's like it's crazy, man, how so many situations been happening, but really not getting a clear answer on what was the reasoning behind it all. But yeah, I did want to talk about this Boosie, I think Lil Durk and Lil Baby with this Gunna situation, man, with the snitching allegations and everybody. Like a lot of people was I seen my son put out a video where he was talking about like he felt like DJ Academic was stirring up unnecessary drama and things of that nature just by making them say out loud what they truly feel. My whole thoughts on that was like this, man. I felt like if you a man of your word and you stand on your principles, you can say how you feel. You know what I mean? And then there ain't gotta be nobody instigating the situation. It's just like it's how your point of view of how you look at it. You know what I mean? I see like Boosie was talking about his situation with Tip when Tip was talking about his cousin taking the gun charges for him, being that he passed away. Then I guess he found out that a lot of the things wasn't put together that way, you know what I mean? But it's been like snitching allegations against a lot of people, Gunna, Rollo, um, the other guy with QC and shit like that, man. But I don't know. I just feel like if you get an opportunity to get out of the lifestyle and you get record companies and things of that nature, and you can go away from the street aspect, why continue to put yourself in those predicaments where you may, you know what I mean, end up in those RICO cases and things of that nature because everybody sees you. You know what I mean? There's no way you can run once you the spotlight of attention. That's why most mob guys didn't like John Gotti or whatever because he was so flashy and so, you know what I mean, out there to the world when it was always supposed to be a secret behind the scenes. You make your money, take care of your family, but you stay out of the ways of the camera. But like I say, nowadays, you being a gangster and being on in front of the camera, those two things don't go together. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like I ain't see nothing wrong with the questions that DJ Academic had for Durk. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, I think Just Hilarious and a couple of other people felt like academics was boosting up a situation. I ain't feel that way. I felt like as a person that's doing interviews and things of that nature, you want to ask the hard questions that the people and the fans want to know. You know what I mean? Because they seen Durk block Gunner and they also seen Lil Baby block Gunner. Then he put out a song, you know what I mean, allegedly supposed to have been addressing Lil Baby in the situation he had, feeling like he's not condoning rat behavior, but he signed to somebody that is supposed to be on paperwork. You know what I mean? Like I say, they going back and forth with that. But like I say, I feel like a man should be able to say how he feel and not be afraid to be true to himself. And I feel like if Dirk feel he don't like that, he should be able to say that. And I don't think nothing wrong with that. I don't feel like the questioning was nothing wrong with the questioning. The truth is the truth. I mean, being who you are as a person, like why do I have to pretend to be something that I ain't? If I don't like something, should be able to say I don't like it. If I agree with it, I should be able to say I agree with it. And then if shooting and all that other stuff be added on to it, that ain't coming from the question of the academics. That's just the intentions of the people around. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at that situation. I felt like they was like they mispocketing what they saying. I feel like as far as the mic sign when he was coming to academics saying like this gonna stir up drama and things of that nature. I feel like when Gunna was on camera and they had the courtroom whole thing on camera of him saying talking about the case of the RICO situation and agreeing that they was doing those things. A lot of people from their standpoint, I feel like he shouldn't have said anything. I should have stand on his purpose and just stand out of the way and understand that being a part of or being in that lifestyle, things ain't gonna always go your way. Yeah, you made millions of dollars. Yeah, you successful musically. I don't feel like nothing take away from Gunna's music. He was always a talented artist, but I think his credentials, as far as a sturdy individual, is being changed and put down at this point. You know what I mean? So sturdiness is different. You know what I mean? It's one thing for people to look at you in one way or another, but being a sturdy individual, you can't just, you know what I mean, be that by coming on cameras and things of that nature like that. And I think that's all it was. Like I say, sometimes like we don't hold regular citizens to the same standards that we hold people that live in the lifestyle. You know what I mean? They got a code and books and rules to it. It's the reason why Troy Ave got so much backlash for the things that he was doing, because he was like, I feel like musically he had a good sound and he had a good movement. But to go from this really tough guy to a guy that was on the stand, I felt like it really hurt a lot of people that was supporting what he was doing, because they thought he was sturdy. You know what I mean? Sturdy is something different. It's like if I'm in a lifestyle and I chose to be in a lifestyle, I understand what comes with it. I might not see my kids no more. I might not see my wife no more. I might not see my family no more. But it's the lifestyle that I chose to live. You know what I mean? I can't cop out no pleas just because, you know what I mean, I feel like this is what it is. Well, then if you're going to do that in that lifestyle, that's called being a rat. You know what I'm saying? That's the title that you want to be under. That's who you're gonna be under. Now, if you was a regular citizen, living or doing a 9 to 5, and you wasn't in a lifestyle, and you went on papers and did whatever the case may be, nobody can't call you no rat, because you're not a part of the lifestyle. You're not a gang banger. You're not a drug dealer. You're not living that lifestyle. But I feel like once you take the code and the oath, and it's blood in, blood out, you gotta live by that. And that's how I feel about it, man. I don't, like I said, I don't feel academics said anything wrong as far as asking questions. I think a lot of times people give a lot of backlash to DJ Academics and DJ Vlad. But the truth be told, like a lot of times these kids come out here and they'll do reckless acts that's not really something that it should be doing. Just like the young kid that the robbery situation with that young kid, and then he goes stand in the blood and taking pictures and stuff like that. It's a gory situation, and it's like the discipline ain't there, because you shouldn't be taunting and playing with that. I always tell people playing with the dead is like one of the wickedest curses that you could put on your life. Most people that have done that have either seen family members or they self lose their life. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I don't really play with. I don't really toy with that. And that my faith, you know what I mean? I don't like, and my belief, like I say, I don't believe in homosexuality. I don't believe in, you know what I mean, playing with the dead. I don't believe in none of that. You know what I'm saying? I always try to stay sturdy to my belief. Like I say, I don't knock nobody for liking same sex or whatever the case may be. I just stand on my purpose and my belief. You know what I mean? See, I just don't, I can't be watching another man do other man and then say, like I say, I see you, I can have love for you as a person, but me personally, I can't be sleeping with no man or none of that type of thing. Like, I gotta stay sturdy on my belief and my faith, and I don't, nah, that's a no-go for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you before, like, I believe what I believe in. You know what I mean? I stay true to my core. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't knock nobody. I ain't about to preach no sermon to you. I just know what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? Just being sturdy and being me as an individual. I try to stay away from that. You know what I mean? And the other thing is the smoking on the dead and things of that nature, which became a part of the hip hop culture from the Chicago thing. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of cities try to take claim to that, but it's really nothing to take claim to when you playing with the dead and things of that nature. Really no glory in that. But like I said before, right, when I look at this whole situation with Ghana and all the things that's being putting out to the front, I look at it from this perspective. It's just like who are you as a man? It's like the same thing with 6ix9ine. It's like he went from he telling on everybody and then accusing it on somebody sleeping with his baby mother and feeling like the loyalty wasn't there. You know what I mean? But I say sturdiness is just be me as forget the people around. It's my sturdiness is just basically me understanding my what I am as a man and as a person, as an individual. If I'm gonna live a lifestyle like that, I gotta take the oath to be true to the core to what I'm living. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. I'm like, I just want to be true to who I am, true to what I do. So it's like, if I'm gonna miss my kids, my family, this and that, I'm gonna do that because I signed up for it. That's why I would never try to live a lifestyle or a gangster or none of that, because I'm gonna be true to my shit all the way. But I'm not gonna tell on nobody. I'm just gonna do my 100 years. and I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And nobody gonna tell me to tell or do anything, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm true to who I am. Now, if I'm gonna be in that lifestyle, I gotta be real with it. Because the thing is that the thing that with the Gunna thing and all the issues that happen is like, I always tell people, like, once you begin to talk or tell or say anything, you are affecting other people within the case. And that's what happened a lot of times when it comes to these situations. And people don't realize, and it's, it was another situation. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Was it No Limit Cairo, right? I think he did a video not too long ago on this, on the U, what is it, the U joint, the interview show. And, he was talking about Tay Capone, and he was saying like Tay Capone was a rat or snitch or like that. And I always would say Tay Capone that had no paperwork on him. So he basically was saying a lot of guys that was trying to break down the Tay Capone situation was illiterate, and they really couldn't break it down properly. And when he explained it, I understood where he was coming from, even though the other guys knew what he did and really wasn't no paperwork involved. It was just like the time stamp that police and different people at that business use. And I'm gonna explain what I'm talking about. Okay, let's say your friends did a robbery, right? Let's say I see my friend at the store about 9:55 or something like that. The police get me, I get a crazy child trespass. That's just like some bullshit. And all of a sudden, I'm downtown and they're like, oh, you know, blah, 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 that's your friend. I'm like, did you see him earlier? Yeah, man, I seen him at 9:55. They time stamped the times that Tay was saying. Tay wasn't snitching. Tay just was like a young kid and he was just talking. That's why they always tell you when you go in the courtrooms, you ain't supposed to talk at all. Now, this is what allegedly what Kyrie was saying is like he was just talking, but not knowing when he talked, they time stamped your talk. Like for instance, like I just said, let's say I've at the grocery store, I seen Rondo number 9 at 9:55, and then they pull me in for some bullshit, and they be like, "Did you see Rondo at this store at 9:55?" Like, yeah, I just seen my bro. I doubted him up, not knowing you not knowing when he in trouble or this or that happened or what happened with this and that. Oh, yes, my man, I seen about. And that's to say you just talking. They timestamp every time you said you seen the individual, and then they run the camera from the incident, and then like I say, they a case based off the information that they pulled together. And that's what they did. And that's why people was calling him Take Upon a rat or snitch. But I think him being a kid and just not knowing like anything that you say in the rooms can be used against anybody. That's why they always tell people have a lawyer present or don't say nothing at all. You know what I mean? Because when you begin to talk and when you say things, they use everything. And that's what Kyra was basically saying. They was going to bring Take Capone in the courtroom to just basically state the times or whatever he's seen when he's seen as individuals. Like I say, it's just they had so much evidence already on them that they didn't really need his part. But that's why they was calling him a snitch and a rat and things like that. When was it No Limit Cairo explained it, I was like, oh, that's what he was saying. But I thought he was like basically saying, oh, Rondo did this and that. No, he was just saying that he was a young kid. He was talking like regular talking, but they was time stamping this shit. You know what I mean? So they time stamping every time. Oh yeah, you seen him over here? Oh, you seen Blase Blah over here at this time? Yeah. Like they run the cameras, they look at the clothes the person had on and stuff like that, and then they just build a case based off the times that they get in the different individuals that's stating those times and things of that nature. But yeah, that's all. That's all. But like I said, when he first explained it, I kind of did. When people first were saying, they kept saying he was a snitch and this and that, but they had no paperwork. He has no paperwork on him. You know what I mean? None at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, that was probably one of them situations where you in there and you ain't telling on nobody, but you saying things that may have been time stamped. You know what I mean? On where they was at that time, and then they used the cameras and then they put together a case. But like I say before, like even like I say, those courtroom when you go into those rooms and things of that nature, that's why they always say don't talk, don't say this, don't say that, because it's like it's so easy to be caught up because they already surpassed what you thinking already. They already got something that's already put together. You just begin to talk a little bit. That's more evidence that they put it on that case. You know what I mean? But like I said before, like the Gunner situation, man, I felt like a lot of people always felt that he was going to be a person that tell or snitch because the previous documentaries and things of that nature that had Gunna on and stuff like that. A lot of people saying that. Even 6ix9ine himself said believe that Gunna was a snitch, a rat, this and that. I know a lot of people don't look at it the same way. Some people don't think he a rat. You know what I mean? For cocking a plea, then some people feel like to put down the whole organization of doing crime activities feel like he's telling and he's snitching. You know what I mean? But like I say, it's like it's a tricky situation. Then you got the Wallow situation, what happened with the Boosie thing. You seen them back and forth was on the internet, and Rallo really going crazy on Boosie, you know what I mean? And then they put Rallo paperwork out, and it basically was saying he was telling on himself and not nobody else. But like I always tell, even with those situations, I always say you gotta be careful with that because telling on yourself sometimes can involve other people's too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can tell some shit and it can connect to another case or another situation. And you like, oh, this is for myself. But it can get other people in trouble just by admitting to something. You know what I mean? And I think that's why certain people look at it differently. You might see Boosie be like, oh no, this and that. But like I say, it's just like everything that you do within those cases and in those situations, it's always all this paperwork going for those cases and stuff like that. It's not like a simple thing. It's like a lot of evidence and thing. Everything that you say, everything that you do, is all being documented. So like when you going in those RICOs and those different cases, everything is being documented and put down and used for the benefit of what they trying to do. You know what I mean? That's why most people that live that lifestyle, they would rather their lawyer do the work for communication and they just be silent. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times talking too much can get you in predicaments or situations that can really just end. It can hurt. Like I said, if you're in a RICO and you got all these different people on these cases, it can affect everybody that's involved. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of people was mad at Gunna because they feel like saying anything in order could affect the case, can affect anybody else that's under that YSL. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like that the energy's like that. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes I get confused. Is it that the people hate DJ Academic so much, or is it that they don't want to hear the truth? Me as a person, I would rather Dirt tell me the truth than lie to me. I would rather Lil Baby to tell me the truth than lie to me. I'd rather them just be truthful. I don't like this guy. He's considered a rat to me. I'd rather somebody tell me to my face how they feel than they hide it behind my back. So I know what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So if a person be like, man, F you, at least he said it to my face, not behind my back. I'd rather him be truthful. So I don't get why they were so mad at academics about that situation. Then they listen to the song. And the song, when I listen to it, you could put a lot of names on it, but I feel like Lil Baby is probably the closest thing to the Gunna situation. And the reason why a lot of people thought that Gunna was talking about Lil Baby. And with the paperwork and statuses that been coming around with the guy that's attached to Lil Baby, I think that's why they kind of like aimed it and said that they felt like Gunna was taking shots at Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, if he said it wasn't him, it wasn't him. But like I told you before, I'd rather a person tell me to my face than to hide it. And then you got an issue with me, but you won't say it in my face. You'll put out subliminals. I'd rather a person be more upfront like Durk and say, you a rat, I don't like you. I don't whoop, whoop. That way you know where you at with that individual and that person. So I respect that more because I feel like at least he was honest. So like I said, I don't hold academic for the question. I feel like a lot of people that are Durk fans or people or just fan of the music want to know how he really felt or why was he blocking Gunna, why he feel this and that. You know what I mean? And then I feel like with Just Hilarious, she was saying like, she was asking Durk, was he, DJ Academic was asking Durk, I guess, was he scared to answer the question or something like that? And he kind of like pulled back, like scared, like, nigga, what? Like, he kind of did that. And I feel like Just Hilarious was saying something like more like why he instigating that situation or whatever the case may be. And I'm gonna tell you what I seen when I watched the interview, and maybe I'm right or wrong. When he first asked him about the Instagram issue as far as blocking Gunna, the way Dirk answered it, it was almost like he didn't want to answer it, basically. So when he did that, that's how he was like, he basically was like, was he okay type shit? Because he was trying to figure out, like, was he even trying to, like, go there with that? You know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, he came with the rats and how he felt about rats and how much he had love for Thug and things of that nature. So, you know what I mean? Like I say, I feel like people was like, they'd rather not hear Dirk tell the truth about how he feel. Me as a person, I'd rather as a tourist, like, I was like, go ahead and tell the truth, bro. Like, how the fuck you feel? You know what I mean? You know, act a tourist too. So, like, we want to type people, like, we'd rather you just tell us to our face, man, fuck you, man. That way I know we got smoke. But then you behind my back talking shit, then I don't know. I'd rather you tell me up front, like, nigga, I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So he know. So now Gunna know Dirk don't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He know Boosie don't fuck with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'd rather you be up front than not be up front. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get why they were so angry to act, man. Those questions needed to be asked. You know what I mean? Because when you go to those interviews, it's also about to promote your album, but it's also about the controversy that's around you, NBA YoungBoy, and all the situations that happen with that. You know what I mean? But people want to know the truth or how you really feel. I mean, that's what you do as an artist. You become, you know what I mean, as your fan base and stuff like that. Y'all have a connection. That's how you connect with your fan base, is by them seeing the real side of you. And I think a lot of times people back in the days used to hide that, how they really feel, and you ain't really know too much about Michael Jackson or Prince or stuff like that. But nowadays you got social media and you get an opportunity to see the relationships of India and Durk and things of that nature like that. You get to see shit now and experience this shit. So I wasn't really mad at Act about that. I wasn't really mad at Vlad about that interview he did with the young man, but I feel like I told you, our culture, they have this thing where they celebrate the death of individuals, and they like the smoking on this, and that shit is witchcraft and some black evil energy type shit. I don't fuck around with that shit. You know what I mean? But like I say, how can they blame Vlad for something somebody did on their own? You know what I mean? If Vlad told him to do it, that's one thing. But like I said, when you doing an interview, you want to have the best interview you could possibly put out there to the public. You know what I mean? And the best way you can do that is by asking them tough and rough questions to know the truth of how you feel on your side of the spectrum. And that's all it is. I say and I respect my science. I respect my son a lot, but I didn't agree with what he was saying as far as like the academics trying to stir up some shit. I mean, the record damn near sound he was coming at Lil Baby, Durk, Boosie, all them niggas that have been speaking on his name, because if you think about it, they are the artists that's speaking out that they really don't like what he's standing for. They're the artists that coming on all these radio stations and Vlad TVs and academic, all these different video interview channels and saying how they don't fuck with Gunna. So who the hell Gunna can be possibly talking about if these individuals are out in the public saying it publicly? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we either gonna be slow or we gonna be smart with this shit. Who else can he fucking possibly be talking about? Lil Baby blocked this nigga on Instagram. So then, like I say, once again, when App was asking Durk about that shit, niggas kind of like he felt like Durk was not really trying to go there, but he went there on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, it's like that paperwork shit been a lot, bro. It's been a lot of that shit going around lately. You don't know what's false, what's real. It's like a lot of issues that's going with that shit. You know what I mean? Every people get called snitches and rat, and they ain't even got no paperwork on it or not. But like I said, it'd probably be a timestamp situation where it's like they was talking in those rooms when they wasn't supposed to be talking, and they incriminated somebody even though they thought they was just telling on themselves. You know, so it's like it could be a lot. That's a tricky business, man. Like I say, they dare to do that. They know the mind games. They went to school for this shit. To be able to confuse you and put you in places of uncomfortable position to be able to get the advantage over you. You know what I mean? It's the equivalent of being a professional athlete, a football player, basketball player, and you got somebody that's coming in that room that really don't have experience or psychologically like just splitting things up to be able to benefit them. That's why they use the things that they use. That's why they put that stuff there. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times they come out victorious, man. For instance, you look at that 6ix9ine shit, his baby mama, they had recordings and shit of the members having sex with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that offended him. That hurted his heart. On top of them extorting him, you know what I mean, for money and things of that nature. So I don't know. They know how to find your weaknesses and use them to get the benefit of what they want out of the situation. And Gunna maybe could have been family, could have been the draining of money. You know what I mean? All the lawyer fees and all the things that you got. Then you got to think about legally and things of that nature. Are they getting sued for missing concerts and all of that? Like how much money they actually losing and how many other lawsuits and things that they're accumulating just being stuck in themselves. You know what I mean? That could drain your finances like a mother. You know what I mean? Because like I say, screaming is cool, but doing those concerts is bringing in that back end money, man. Niggas really need that back end money for other ventures and things like that, and bills and things of that nature. So there's a whole science to what they do. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. That's why you see a lot of them niggas going to jail, man. That shit really fuck niggas' whole pockets up, man. You know what I mean? Because they have a plan put together every time they go out there. But like I said, when you entertaining the lifestyle with the entertainment business, those two things don't go together because you're in the public. You know what I'm saying? And everybody get an opportunity. That's the reason why when Chief Keef first came out, and they was like waving all these guns and all this shit, and 50 Cent saying that shit, and 50 coming from the streets and understanding like those are our cases right there. That's like that Atlanta video. I remember they had all them guns and shit, And they end up finding like it was like a lot of stuff that was attached to that shit. They watch the video, get all the members from the video and all that shit. Like that shit was like a close. That shit was easy. They don't really got to do a lot of work no more because it be right there. Just like the Dundalk situation. Man, the people online found the shit more faster than the police. The police ain't had to do nothing but just print out some shit that they already got online already because it was already put together. It's like, this the car right here. This the dude where they live right here. This was the video they did right here. That shit was already put together and put out already because they had already had the case put together. Like, that's why I say the internet, that shit crazy. Like, that whole shit was done in no time. They found them guys. It was easy. That shit was nothing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how easy it is for this shit, like, right now, because it's the social media energy and influence nowadays. It's so powerful. It's like, you can't just do this and do that. They're taking pictures, they taking notes and all of that, especially the people that come from the actual cities. They really know more information as far as like the location and all of that. When I seen this car over here and there, like, you know what I'm saying? This shit can get deep as hell, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I said before, like I would feel like if Ghana was gonna play the role of just a regular citizen and he wasn't in the lifestyle, which a lot of people looked at him like that. You know what I mean? But now it's just like it's so bad because they put the recording out to the people. And now everybody get an opportunity to be the judge and jury of how they want to feel about homes. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is now, man. You can't take that takedown because it's out there now. So like, I think a lot of people gonna always feel like he wasn't solid, he wasn't sturdy. You know what I mean? Like I said, that lifestyle, you gotta be sturdy or you a rat. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they carry that shit, man. Like I said, I would prefer people to just get away from that shit because it's really it's don't have longevity to nowadays because there's too many cameras, there's too many informants, there's too many snitching. It's like it's no reason to even try to live that lifestyle right now. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's gonna be a cold day in that cell where you just ain't gonna be able to see your family no more because it's gonna be somebody you think was the closest person to you that tell on you because people can't deal with that pressure of lose. Let's just imagine that you got millions of dollars coming in. You having sex with as many women you want to have sex with. You living a life to the fullest capacity, and then it all get taken away. And that's what happened when you watch the BML shit. You see a lot of that shit where, like, damn, we was living on the top of the world. We had it all, women, money, everything. And to lose it all, it's like some people can't fathom their women having sex with other men, their daughters having sex with other men, they not being able to protect them and things of that nature. They can't deal with that. So like a lot of times they go on them books and they begin to talk because they feel like they have to be home. And like I told you before, the life, bro, it can be so glorious and then it can be so dark. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, your sturdiness gonna go down legendary. You know what I mean? When you not gonna talk or do nothing, cause that's where you get your stamp from. It's their game. It's their game. Is a real game. Like they play with that. You know what I mean? And nobody's bigger than the system. Nobody's bigger than the program. You either in the shit or you ain't, or you extinct. You know what I mean? And the program will take you out. Nobody's bigger than the program. I don't give a fuck if you a leader of 50 men. The program is the program. No, everybody get disciplined. You know what I mean? It may not be from your homies, but it'll be by the program itself. And that's just the life. You're gonna live that life, you gotta understand that shit gonna come. Like the ups, the downs, you know what I'm saying? It's like, are you prepared mentally for the day that you get shot? For the day that you get 50 years? Are you prepared for that? Niggas ain't prepared for that shit. They too busy having sex. They too busy buying jewelry. They too busy living their life. That then they're consuming the idea of this shit can all end, right? The day or tomorrow. And who I'm gonna be when it's all over and said and done. As I'm gonna be sturdy, go down as a legend, or I'm gonna be a rat and be home with my family and kids. That's a hard decision for a lot of people that live that lifestyle. That's why you see a lot of people flip. You know what I mean? Now, they'll find any little thing that you did wrong within the time that y'all was at y'all success or y'all height and be like, oh, that's the reason why I told, because bro was messing with my wife or my bro did this and that. But at the time that we was at success, it never was an issue. It only became an issue when you got locked up. Now you want to say use that as your factor of telling. But like I said before, anybody that lived that lifestyle knows that day gonna come. Every dog gonna have his day. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. And you understand the rules of the game. So it's like I said, when I look at that Gunna situation, I look at it, I'm just like, if you was true to the core and you was sturdy to what you was doing, you can't flip. You can't talk, you can't do nothing. You just gotta sit and wait and just get to the best lawyer you possibly can do. Get and just it is what it is. I've seen a lot of people live that lifestyle and their baby mamas or their wives, and people's like, man, go ahead and snitch and tell. Go ahead and snitch and tell. Go ahead and snitch and tell. But I always look at it from a perspective of y'all was hustling, y'all was in the game real tight, and y'all was family. How can you hurt your own brother just so you can get less time? How can you watch your own brother suffer for you to, I'd rather fucking die. I'd rather die, my nigga. I'm not gonna do, I don't know, I'm just different. I'd rather fucking die. I'm not gonna do it. If you my motherfucking brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong, we in that lifestyle. I'm just gonna die by it, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of the time, nigga. I don't even gotta, I'm like, I type of nigga, you don't even gotta take me to the courtroom. I gotta stay in my cell, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I'm in that, that's what I'm in that. It's like I say before, if you signing up for that shit, you gotta know what coming with it. It's not gonna always be glitz and glamour. That shit gonna get dark eventually. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that hate you, that dislike you, that don't want to see you be successful. There's a lot of motherfuckers that want you to fall, and they'll do all it takes to make you fall. It's people that look at your success and hate the fact that you successful. You know what I mean? So they don't give a damn about none of that. They cool to go down to the precinct or go snitch and put in pictures or whatever the hell they got to do to tear you down. So you got to know when that day gonna come. Are you prepared for that shit? That's why a lot of people say don't live that lifestyle, because it's not made for everybody. Because everybody is like Boosie was saying, like having a crate of 12 eggs and shaking that motherfucker. One of them, a couple of them bitches gonna break. And that's what happened a lot of times in them RICO cases, man. 24 eggs in a case and you shaking it up. Even if you drop it on the floor, you might have like about 2 or 3 of them bitches that don't crack. But the rest of them eggs in that fucking case gonna crack. And that's real. That's real. So it's like, man, I don't know. You know what I mean? But like I said before, I feel like Gunna was in that shit for real. He shouldn't have never did that. I feel like he should have hold his own weight and just, you know what I mean? But now, like I said, he got to deal with the backlash of what he did as a man. Same thing with 6ix9ine. As a man, you got to deal with that shit. I hate people that always say they should just tell. No, I look at it from this. If you are living that lifestyle, be sturdy in that lifestyle. If you and people try to mix regular citizens with gangbangers and gangsters. That's not the same. Like that's just the dumbest shit I ever heard in my fucking life. A 9-to-5 worker or a motherfucker that they work jobs, they can tell all they fucking want to because they didn't sign up for the lifestyle. Some people as regular citizens are sturdy and they will never tell. But if you're a regular citizen, you are not in that category. But don't tell me that you was a gangster rapper, living the lifestyle, and then say, oh no, he was a regular citizen because he was rapping. That's what they were saying with Troy Ave. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? I'm like, this making my brain hurt. This nigga was on stage, grabbing people off stage, beating people up backstage. He was living that lifestyle. It's like we can't like 1 minute live the lifestyle, next minute we regular citizens. It's like, bro, we can't do the back and forward shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You be in or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I hate about that shit. It's like, that's why I always tell people, if you in that game and you fucking with niggas, remember the most selfish nigga out of the group gonna always tell. I always tell niggas, I always tell niggas this shit. That nigga that will never split a piece of bread with you, never give you nothing. Them niggas will always snitch. Niggas that's selfish as hell will always snitch, bro. I'm trying to tell you, that nigga that always give niggas shit, always looking out for niggas, Big Meech. That's a prime example. Them niggas that always stingy and fucked up, they gonna always tell, bro. I always tell you, the most selfish nigga in the game gonna always tell, bro, cause they only think about self. A nigga that got like millions and they're like, bro, I'm gonna help my people out, whoop the whoop. They ain't gonna never tell because they always caring about their brethren. Niggas like them that selfish as hell, stingy as a motherfucker, never break bread, never do nothing. Them niggas gonna tell the first time they get locked up, cause they all for self. They don't give a fuck about nobody but they self. Them niggas like that, I already know them niggas gonna snitch. I be like, why they gonna tell? I already know when I see them type individuals, they gonna tell. Cause they always been selfish and stingy and fucked up. Like, that's all they know is that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, man, everybody gonna have their own opinion about that situation. And I think some people was like talking about his music. Gunna is a musical genius, man. He's gonna make good music, whether red or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? He gonna make good music regardless. The same with the Tekashi guy. His energy gonna be always on the record, whether he a red or not. They're gonna always have good music, you know what I mean? Because they are musical geniuses. But that don't say nothing about their sturdiness as a person. You know what I'm saying? That sturdiness is something different. I even feel like Troy Ave made good music. I feel like they all make good music. But the sturdiness is the characteristics of the actual person. That soul in them that's like, man, I'll never do that and really mean that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, that's why I like, if I'm a musician and I got an opportunity to get away from the life, I don't want to be nowhere near a part of that shit. Like, because it's like, it don't breed nothing but death. You know what I'm saying? Being incarcerated, what the hell can you do for your family in those predicaments? If I got an opportunity to make, because the Gunna, I know he was making top money for his shows because Gunna was like one of the biggest artists out there, this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Thug, Gunna, all them niggas, like a super big artist, man. Nigga probably had, that nigga probably had 100,000 a show type shit. Like, that's how big it was as artists. Like, so it's like, nigga, what? I can't, like I said, like me personally, I'll be on some Meat Mill shit. Like, I don't even want that type of energy around me. I'm gonna try to help my guys as much as possible to get away from that shit because just me being a part of that, I'll be getting indicted with these Rico shits. Just being next to a nigga that's in that lifestyle that they watching. Because if they think about it, a nigga that sell drugs that's around a big ass name artist like Meat Mill, just him attaching himself to me, they gonna be able to envision like, oh yeah, he getting meat this or he doing that. Like they can put all that shit together. You could be in a case that you ain't had shit to do with. That's why they always say. My dad used to always tell me this shit. He be like, Charlie, man, your friends are your future. And my daddy would say that shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck you talking about? Your friends are your future. What the fuck that mean? Like, nigga, what that mean, nigga? But now I get it. As an adult, as a mature man, I get what he was trying to say. Like, your friends are your future. You got to be careful who you surround yourself with because the characteristics that you have around you can either uplift you or bring you down. And that was real. At first, when my dad would say that shit, I like, your friends, I never could, it didn't click in my mind. But now they do click because I understand, like, having the wrong individuals around you can be it can be your successful point or your down point. You know what I mean? But like I say, loyalty is like one of them things that we don't see a lot in this lifetime. And like I said, for me, experiencing just with family members and friends, I don't see a lot of loyalty. I see a lot of people that just backstab each other for opportunities. Everybody's in your life for something. You know what I mean? Like I say, me, I'm an old school soul person where it's just like, I love the energy. I love being around you because we just got good energy. We be vibing and stuff like that. Sometimes people will be around you for shelter, for money, for something. It ain't just because it's genuine love. And I think a lot of times that's what happened with a lot of these boxers and rappers and people that have that influence like that. The love that they get ain't genuine. Would those people still be around if you wasn't rich and successful or famous? And that's the question you got to ask yourself a lot of times. It's like when you get there, everybody want to be a part of your life. I remember when I first started my channel and things of that nature. And I remember, man, I always try to say this. I've always had people that supported the beginning stages. If it ever blowed up and become super successful, it's like I want to celebrate the people that was there for me, helping me when I didn't have, when the vision wasn't all the way polished, is what I'm trying to say. And like I said, sometimes back in the days, I used to worry too much about the people that wasn't supporting, didn't have a good faith or love for me, that I missed out on the people that did. And I don't want to be a person. That's why I said lately I've been in a spiritual mindset where I feel like I want to celebrate a lot of people that's graduating, that's just enjoying life. I want to celebrate them because I feel like when my day come, I'm gonna get the same celebration because I was able to enjoy their moments and being able to celebrate them. And I think sometimes it'd be you be in a selfish mindset thinking, why that's not me, not and just not saying this, man, I'm so happy that my brother and my sister got this business or they successful in this and successful in that. Just being a man enough to be able to say, I can celebrate you at your victorious moment because I know that day that I get mine, you're gonna do the same. And a lot of people will. It's just like you gotta stop watching the people that don't support you and just celebrate the ones that do. And that's why I say I can have one person watching me, two people watching me, three people watching me, five people watching me. And I'm gonna always give them that love because I feel like they don't gotta do none of that shit. It's all cool to have supporters. Cause if they support me, I'm gonna support them as much as I possibly can. And it's all about growth and understanding just life. I feel like in my life, I had to go through different stages of pain and frustration and depression and things of that nature. And what you come out on top with is just learning that you can be whatever you desire to be if you stay focused on it. But you can't make the same mistakes twice. You got to be able to evolve and able to get to that next level. And that's what I've been working on lately, just like inching closer into like putting things together in a way that it's supposed to be done. Because doing the same thing the wrong way ain't gonna get you the results you're looking for. You know what I mean? But like I said before, life, man, I always say like, you never know when that time gonna come. You know what I mean? And that's why I said like, sometimes people get the success so quick and then it can destroy them in the midst of it. And I look at it at King Von situation where he blew up so quick and so fast that a lot of people around him didn't even expect that success to come like that. But with the success, he still had the mindset of an O Block guy or a BD. Like he still had that mindset so heavily on his mind that it destroyed him at the end. Because if you don't evolve with the money that you got to think, if you got multiple millions of dollars, you can hurt a lot of people because people will do a lot of things for money. And I've seen people do the most disgusting things for money. So it's like to be in a position of power, to have that much money and to have that much influence, just influence alone can make people do things. And it not like I say, adding money to the equation can make people do things even more. You know what I mean? So like I say, sometimes people get it so quick and then you will have that. You think about Tupac, the Biggie situation, all the same things of just getting to that point of success at such a young age and not really know how to handle those millions of dollars. And then still being that kid from that neighborhood that haven't evolved yet to understand that, yeah, I can take out a lot of people with this money. But if I do that, what is the end result going to be? RICO cases, me losing my life in the midst of the drama and chaos. You know what I mean? And like I say, drama and chaos will sell to the media platforms, but at the same time, it's a life and death situation because there's real killers out here, there's real serial guys out this guy that will pull the trigger and will do these harmful things to you because that's all they know. They come from that core of that. You know what I mean? And I always say like this, man. I would tell kids anything, like don't think because you cry. Don't think because you asking somebody not to do something. When you in that lifestyle as a kid growing up, I remember fighting a lot and stuff like that. And you know, you got the big bully on the block and you're like, no, I don't know. You don't want them to do it. They do it anyway, beat your ass anyway. So just imagine them guys growing up as adults. You begging for your life. They still gonna take your life. You in that game, you gotta know what come with that shit. And nobody's ain't gonna feel no sympathy for you. My whole point about what I just said is sympathy. Nobody don't gonna feel that shit for you. That's why I say it's like spiritually healing your mind, body, and soul. You know what I mean? Praying 5 times a day, fasting. You know what I mean? And putting God first is the only way you can free yourself from these crazy and demonic spirits that's gonna come upon you. The being successful and being celebrated sometimes can come with a lot of demons. You know what I mean? So it's like, are you going to react to the old version of yourself or are you going to be more evolved to know how to handle that? That's why I say sometimes you got to condition yourself for the celebration. Because if you ain't conditioning yourself for the celebration, you never know what's going to come from that. Because like I say, everybody ain't going to celebrate you. There's going to be a lot of people that hate to see the fact that you are successful and glowing and having victory. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like I said before, when I look at those wide sale cases and the different cases, RICOs and things like that, the Casanovas, a lot of people that got caught in these RICO cases. A couple of drill rappers, you know what I mean, getting those RICO cases and stuff like that at the peak, of the height of their careers, and then losing it all. Troy Ave and Tax Stone, they're losing it all at the peak because they're not able to evolve past the lifestyle that they come from. It's like the opportunity will be given, but how are you gonna be able to take it to the next level? And that's the thing we gotta learn, like, because you will get the opportunity, but are you gonna be able to stay in your pocket to be able to flourish and get the success you're looking for? You know what I mean? And like I said, we could say a lot about a lot of people, but like I say, man, with money, with power, with influence, who are you gonna be when you get it all? You know what I mean? That's why I say sometimes I feel like God tried to prepare you for that moment and polish you off enough to be able to deal with the highs and lows of the success for that. But sometimes people get it quick and it gone quick. And we seen that with Tupac, Biggie, King Von, Pop Smoke. We could just go down the list of a lot of rappers that had it and they lost it as soon as they got it. You know what I mean? That's because of the demons and just not knowing how to move in those situations. Because like I told you before, Don't nobody feel no sympathy. When they want your jewelry, they gonna want your jewelry. When they want their money out your pocket, they gonna want their money out your goddamn pocket. Nigga, give it up to me. They ain't gonna give a fuck about no sympathy. They gonna pull that trigger on you. You know what I mean? Because it's a bunch of crazy motherfuckers that live all around the world that's wanting to come up. There's a lot of people suffering and hurting in these communities, man. I mean, that's why niggas go out here and hustle and they do what they do. But at the end of the day, I always say, at the end, dog, are you gonna be sturdy enough to do that time? Because with all these situations, it's life or death, or you gonna sit in them jail cells. There ain't gonna be a lot of Jay-Z stories when niggas become billionaires because some people can't even let the game go. You know what I'm saying? And some people just love the rush of being in that game. And they can't just let that shit go. Cause they live and they die by that shit. That's all they know. It's niggas that's been hustling since motherfucking 12 years old, nigga. Niggas been bagging up hustling. They might have been like lookout kids, from lookout kids, the motherfuckers in the crib bagging up and running around with their pistol. Niggas been doing that shit their whole life. You come from the block, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these girls, man, out here, they been hoeing their whole life. These girls been having sex since the age of 10 years old and up. These niggas been selling drugs since the age of 10 years old and up. And it's real. Niggas know that shit, man. Niggas been hustling and doing shit since the age of 10 and up. You know what I mean? So they condition their mind to be that. You know what I mean? But like I say, it's nothing wrong with change because like I say, they've been seeing jail cells and shit for a long time. But when that real, when they car, like I said, here's the thing about a lot of drug dealers got life in the penitentiary for the fentanyl and shit like that that's been on the drugs and shit like doing life in jail, bro. I ain't never gonna come out that bitch. Them niggas used to doing little 5, 10 years and shit like that. Now niggas gone for long, never coming home, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, if you sign up for it, you gotta know what's coming with that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, man, I ain't seen nothing wrong with what academic was saying. I don't feel like nothing wrong for Boosie's stance on how he feel. But with Boosie, a lot of times I feel like you gotta make sure you get all the information before we go on the internet. As far as the Rollo shit, gotta make sure we got all the information. You know what I mean? So like I said, I seen the Rollo shit and I was like, God damn, I heard the phone conversation. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, yo, I fuck with Rollo heavy, nigga, like real heavy, sturdy. Like I'm like, what the, like, yo, I seen that, I ain't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. I was confused by that Rollo shit. I was like, yeah. And then they came back and showed his paperwork and shit like that. He just taking responsibility for his own shit. But sometimes that shit could fuck up some other shit, depending on, like I said, you got to read through the paperwork to see what happened with that. But they say everything with Rollo sturdy though. You know what I mean? 21 Savage, a couple of niggas went and called the lawyers up and found out was he telling or not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you gotta make sure you get all the right information with that shit, man. For real. But like I said, I ain't feel nothing wrong with academic was saying. I don't feel like nothing wrong with Boosie saying or Lil Durk. I feel like if you feel a certain way about a motherfucker, that's how you feel. I'd rather you say it to my face than say it behind my back. Be real with me. You know what I'm saying? So if they gonna be real with Gunna like that, I'm cool with that shit. Now Gunna know he can't fuck with Durk. He can't fuck with Boosie. I don't know about Baby. I ain't heard Lil Baby talk about it. So like, you know what I'm saying? But if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. I mean, I'd rather a nigga be honest and honorable than to be behind a nigga back talking shit. And you know what I'm saying? I'd rather a nigga come right out, oh yeah, don't fuck with that rat shit, woo woo. Okay, cool. You know now. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I respect that more for a person to just be real. You know what I'm saying? All that fake ass shit with niggas like pretending and you know what I mean? I think the worst thing a nigga can do is be hate you and dap you up and act like you friends with a nigga that you hate. it's like it's like, bro, we gotta get away from that shit, nigga. I respect real men and real women that say, man, if it's fuck you, it's fuck you. I respect that more. Like I don't respect all that. We gonna be pretend shit. I'm gonna dap you up and all that foolish shit. Like, just be real. Like I don't fuck with you. Everybody don't fuck with everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Why we can't just be real with shit? Why we gotta be fake with shit? You know what I'm saying? Just be real. Maybe it's that tourist shit and be, but I'd rather just be up front. Nigga, I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me? All right, cool. You go away, I go my way. But I don't gotta kill you because I don't fuck with you. So that's why I ain't getting the my sign shit. I don't gotta kill you because I don't fuck with you. I just don't fuck with you. You dig? Like, I don't like you. Now, if you go to killing and all that, you can't blame it on no academics. You gotta blame it on the nigga that wanna do it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't telling that nigga pull a trigger, the nigga pull a trigger on his own. That's why I say, even though he did the war in Chirac and he, what we call turn human beings, the video game characters and shit like that, I'd rather sit back and say Chicago was Chicago before academics even came on a platform. LA was LA before any nigga came on a platform. Them niggas been gang banging and shooting niggas forever, nigga. You think academics had what the? He made them niggas famous before how them niggas live their life. They been that shit like before a nigga even got on it. And you think academics created Chicago, nigga? Y'all niggas be silly with this goofy shit. Like, bro, nigga ain't created that shit. Nigga, Chicago niggas been doing that shit. Them niggas been doing that shit. Before any nigga got on the internet to talk about that shit, they just made them niggas famous. He helped. I feel like he helped the Chief Keef with his buzz, Lil Reese, and all of them. They already had dope music, but sometimes you had dope music, but you don't have a look. And if you got a nigga on the internet talking about you all the time, like these video game characters, these was like star, like it's like Street Fighter or some shit like that. When he turned these niggas to star characters and shit, they was like Ryu and all that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he turned them all into like, you know what I mean, star characters on the video game. And he just kind of played it out just like, you could tell he was one of the video game kids that he was able to manipulate it enough to be able to get the energy. And he had the information on his shit. Like, I'm talking about every time where he'll say, this nigga about to get smoked, and the nigga actually get smoked. What the fuck? This shit, it turned into some real live, what was that? What is that show? I forget the name of that shit, man. It was like a movie or something where niggas was like really offing each other in that shit, man. It was the Hunger Games or some shit like that. Yeah, the Hunger Games and shit. Like, they be making multiple movies like that. That's basically what Act did with real life shit. He made it into some shit like that. Yeah, I mean, video game characters and shit like that. Yeah, that shit went way left with it though. But I tell you what, it made a lot of niggas famous as hell. Boy, them niggas made a lot of money off that shit. Act made a lot of money off that, and the niggas that was, you know what I mean, in the Chicago drill scene when that shit was at its peak and its height. Like, that shit was explosive, nigga. Like, that shit was crazy. For real, for real. Yeah. But like I say, man, yeah, I seen the what was that shit? The Jamie Foxx shit. I'm still kind of confused with that. Cause I'm like, I don't know. Like, cause I seen one article that said that he was like the daughters and stuff was saying like he was good, he was walking and everything was straight. Then you see another article that say he blind and paralyzed. And he's like, you seeing all these different articles. And I had to be like, damn, can niggas just put falsified information out like that to just do that? Like, I was like, damn, you can sue a lot of motherfuckers for that type of shit, man. I was seeing all these articles and shit come out like that. I'm still thinking about that Tasha K shit with Cardi B, man. Ain't gonna lie though, Cardi B verse on that Lotto shit, man. Cardi B went crazy on that shit, man. Cardi B went crazy on that Lotto verse, man. That shit was like that, man. I don't know, man. I still like when I look at some of the female rappers right now, man, that shit is, man, them niggas is on beast mode right now. You got a lot of heavy hitters out here, man. A lot of heavy hitters, bro. I don't think it ever been a time where you had this many good female rappers like this, bro. These motherfuckers on beast mode. Like real rap. Like, I'm talking about like, damn, like you down there got a list of 20 that's hard, like super hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think the women rap game is probably at the best it's ever been ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? From like that Lauryn Hill time into like the Lil Kim, the Foxy Brown. I don't think we ever seen women hip hop be this great. Like ever, bro. Like this shit is like unbelievably great right now. Like that shit crazy. But I like it though, man. I support that shit because I feel like you know, like it's good to see that they can have the versatility and shit like that. Cause they got some women that's real beast mode. Like the Kill, one of my favorite. You know what I mean? I feel like she's one of the she can spit real good. And I feel like Glow, she had in the fish grease right now, boy. Yeah, they doing it big with that shit though, man. But I'm about to be out though, man. Love and support to all my people out there, man. Much respect, G. I'm out though, man. Love y'all out there, man. Y'all stay safe, G.